This program is brought to you by Our Valley Santa Clarita. We create success for our clients. We are a marketing solutions company that will help you grow your business. Call us at 661-666-1639.
Hi.
Hi.
How are you? Bienvenidos to everyone. Welcome. This is my talented and beautiful co-host, Setareh.
Thank you.
Setareh, what are you wearing today?
Oh, well, I'm really glad that you asked. I am wearing Sedeka, which can be found at our very own Westridge Valencia Mall at Town Center. It's on the top level. You can also find their stuff at sedeka.com. It's SIDECCA.com. You're gonna love it. Everything is super timeless, bright, fun. I feel like I've been taken back to another time.
You have.
Hey.
You remind me of Lucy.
Hey,
Doesn't she
but in
remind me of
my own way.
Setareh's Lucy.
Including all the accessories, the hat, the earrings. Check it out.
Sedeka.
I love it.
Yeah.
Right for all ages. You can go as wild as you want.
Oh my God.
What?
Dia de los Muertos. Last Saturday. It was like incredible.
A lot of fun. As you can see, we're scrolling some pictures now of that event. You can see that we had a fashion show. We had a galleria of artists who submitted some of their beautiful artwork. Kids, the face painting. It was just the altars. Oh, such a good time.
It was a great event
If you
and
missed it, you gotta go.
hosted by Setareh.
But anyways, I'm so excited because following up is a wonderful piece of our lovely Shady lady. Let's see what she
Shady is
has.
back.
She's talking about something really important, which is to bring more friends or prospects to your business. Let's check it out.
Hola Santa Clarita, I'm Shady and welcome to Shady Business. Today I got a good one for you. It's gonna be how to attract more prospects to your company. Why is this important? Well, hello, don't you want more pesos? Don't you want more ching ching ching-a-ling? Okay, well, in order to do that, you gotta bring more amigos to your company. Number one, I cannot keep telling you guys to follow up. This is important because this way you make a connection with the person and you put them into purchasing mode. Number two is basically continue to follow up, but in a deeper way. You gotta take it to the next level. You gotta ask them a question that is conversational. If you ask them, hey, do you like the tamale? Of course they're gonna say yes. You gotta ask them something like, what were your thoughts about the materials that I sent you? This way they engage, build a connection, and even if they don't buy now, they're gonna purchase in the near future. When we get back, I'm gonna give you more tips on how to keep those amigos coming to your business.
I just love Shady. I just love Shady. She not only has an amusing way of putting things, but she gives you good tips and tricks.
Well, I really enjoyed what she said about following up, but in a conversational way. Like you can't just say, hey, what'd you think of the tamales? They were great. You know, you gotta say something that's gonna get people to answer with more injundia, as we say in Spanish, more juice, you know? It's gonna create a relationship if you do it.
I love it.
That's what it's about.
I love it. When we come back, following up on in a conversational way, when we come back, great pianist Roger Williams will not be here with us today, but his drummer, Jimmy Carnelli, will.
Yay!
I got my Sunday shoes on. I want to twist and shout. But what if the hokey pokey really is what it's all about? You know that
Santa Clarita is Southern California's entertainment destination. Just minutes from LA, Santa Clarita's year-round weather means you can enjoy year-round fun. Like thrilling coasters and water parks, premium shopping, destination day spas, fine dining, outdoor adventure, and major events such as wine festivals, golf tournaments, and the Cowboy Festival. Santa Clarita, always in season.
Hi, I'm Setareh, this is Bill Miranda, and welcome back to our valley, Santa Clarita. Next is Jimmy Carnelli, who resides in Santa Clarita and has been a freelance Los Angeles recording and live performance vocalist, drummer, percussionist, professional since 1979. His experience covers a broad range of musical endeavors, including live performing, studio recording, composition, and musical direction. He has worked in a variety of live recorded and televised performances with the artists such as John Fogerty, Danny Gans, and Bobby Kimball. Jimmy was also a drummer for legendary pianist Roger Williams, as well as with over 40 symphonies across the United States. The experience gives him the ability to custom tailor entertainment to the exact needs of his clients. Welcome, Jimmy.
Thank you. Wow. What a beautiful introduction that was.
And it's well deserved. We are so honored to have you on the show, Jimmy.
Oh, thank you, Bill. I
We
appreciate
are
that.
so honored. A lot of people don't know that you are a talented musician and entertainer. They know you as a singer.
Yeah.
Great singer.
Thank you very much.
Nothing wrong with that.
Nope.
Your voice is fantastic.
I heard him at the gala, at the Latino Chamber Gala. You were great. You were
Thank
like
you.
Frank Sinatra, you know.
That's kind of my thing.
With
you
your
know.
own twist,
Yeah.
though, which
Crooner.
is lovely.
But the thing we like to stress today is you're more than just a singer. Your company is music and entertainment.
Correct.
Tell us a little bit about that.
Well, like you said earlier, I resided in California, in Santa Clarita rather, for about 28 years now, and traveled with Roger Williams, the legendary pianist, for 15 years. And when Roger passed away in 2011, with his encouragement before he left, he wanted me to pursue my singing career, and he wanted me to start my own company. So loving Santa Clarita and being here, raising my family here, and just being here for a very long time, I decided to start a company in my community so I could cater to my community especially. Not that I wouldn't go outside of my community and haven't, but I love doing things. I had the joy of being at the Latino Chamber 2 years in a row, and that's
Yes.
a great joy of mine. You've become such a dear friend, and I thank you for having me be here in the first place. And I love singing for your lovely wife and you every time I see you. So that's what really started it. What people don't know is that, and what makes, I think, this is just my opinion, but what I think makes my company special in comparison to companies I've worked for as a sales manager, and being on the other side, as I say, on the other side of the glass, you know, where I'm selling the entertainment and then be part of it as well, you know, when the events take place. But the thing that makes my company special is the network of people that I know who have become my friends. I mean, I have the greatest musicians because we're in the musical capital of the world right here in Los Angeles. So these are my peers. These are people that I've been on stage with for 30 years. So I can call them friend. So when I put something together for someone's event, it comes with people that are my buddies, the men and women that I've been working with on stage. See, I'm just not a broker, I'm one of them. And so it gives me joy for two reasons. I'm able to give my peers work, which is a beautiful thing. Mm-hmm. And I'm able to supply my clients, like yourself, with the finest musicians that Los Angeles has to offer, and then bring it to Santa Clarita.
And that's a good point, Jimmy, because you customize, whether it's soloists or ensembles.
Doesn't matter.
You customize it for the event.
Doesn't matter. And it doesn't have to be me, is what I want to stress to people. See, I've been very honored that in my community I have performed for the Circle of Hope, which I do a lot of work for, and for the Latino Chamber, and several others. I've worked for Bob Keller and for Gloria and for so many different people for different events. But most people don't know that the company offers a harpist, a a string trio, a solo guitarist, if they don't need what I do, I'm a crooner, that's what I love to do,
And a drummer.
And a drummer.
And a drummer.
But if, I'll get to that in a second. But bottom line is that, if they don't want me to be there, I can oversee it. I could be in the background. But I could send so many other different performers. And that's makes my company special, in my opinion.
Now, Setareh, I got to tell you, who would not want Jimmy to be there?
Absolutely. No, and I think it's such an important point that you were saying that the people that you bring to each performance that you do are not just other workers that you're putting together, they're your friends.
My friends.
And that is a huge thing that will come across in a performance. I know I'm theatrically, my background is theater, but when you develop a relationship with the people that you're working with, it really takes things to the next level. And that's important in any type of business that
Absolutely.
you're in,
It is.
And so it just gives it juice.
The audience feels that, they see that, and the compliment that you get a lot from people when they don't have a musical background and they don't really know how to compliment you musically other than, wow, you sound great, is, wow, you look like you're having a lot of fun up there.
Yeah.
And that fun comes from being with people that you love, that love you, and want to come to your event, to your gig, as we call it, and do a great job. And my clients benefit from this, I just become the member of the band Player, which made the song Baby Come Back, which was an international hit. And I'm on my way to Australia Sunday night to tour Australia for a little while with this band. Our Valley might see Player next year.
Yes, it will.
Yeah, because of now I've become part of that situation. So this is the kind of thing that I want to bring to my community. This is what I always dreamed of, was to have a company in my community that would cater to people, whether they just need a PA and lights, have that. Whether they need a DJ, I DJ myself and enjoy doing it. And if I'm not available, I send one of my dependable people. And last thing I want to stress is while I'm away, there are people in my office to take the phone calls, to communicate with me, and I have so much downtime while I'm there. We're doing 14 concerts in 30 days. I'll be able to put everything together from where I'm at and then pick up when I come home. So I wanted to stress that because I have events coming up in December here in our valley.
That's fantastic. Now let me ask you, where are you going to go in Australia?
All over the place, Bill.
All over.
We start, the first thing we do when we get there, we leave on November 2nd, but puts me there November 4th, is we go on television. The very first morning that we're there, to do an Australian equivalent to Good Morning America kind of a thing.
Oh, good.
And we're singing 2 tunes and live on television. And then the very next day we start a 4-concert run.
Wow.
And then a break for a couple of days. And then here's my joy. While I'm in Sydney, I have 3 days off, and I'm a scuba diver.
Oh, fantastic.
So.
Jimmy, we're going to take a short break. When we come back, we want to learn more about Jimmy Carnelli.
And I heard that you experienced Carnegie Hall, so when we come back, we're going to hear a little bit more about that.
Here comes the rain. We need a hat. And why do we need a hat?
When you talk with your child, you build vocabulary, and learning starts long before school does. For more tips, go to bornlearning.org.
We're here today with the great musician, talented pianist. You're a drummer, you do play the piano, but you're a drummer, you're a singer, you're a musician, you're a composer producer of events. My goodness, how did that happen? Little Jimmy grew up where?
Okay. Wow, I'll try to get through that one real quick.
Grown up?
Okay. Grown up, yeah. I grew up in New York. I come from a musical family. My brother is a very well-known studio guitar player who you would know from listening to all the Hanna-Barbera cartoons. Stephen played on Scooby-Doo, the Jetsons, the Flintstones.
Oh, wow.
So I come from a musical family. Left New York when I was 14 years old. My father was, God rest his soul, was a New York police officer, decorated World War II soldier. We moved to Arizona when I was 14 because of his illness. He had emphysema. Went to school there, went to college there. Started playing drums, though, when I was 9. Started singing when I was 4.
Wow.
So it just really never stopped, and I really never looked back. By the time I was 15, I was in bands, and then I went to college and got in the jazz band. I was in the show band. I was in the percussion ensemble. And then I put a band together, and I went on the road because I loved to sing. And I ended up in California after about a year. My 2 bandmates ran back to Arizona because California scared them half to death. And I stayed here and studied with famous drummers. I was so blessed. I mean, the most famous on planet Earth. Murray Spivak, who taught Louis Bellson, and all these incredible drummers that go down in history. And that was a great opportunity for my education. I worked for a lot of people from yesteryear. I played for Wolfman Jack, Little Anthony, the Platters, the Drifters, the Coasters, the lead singer from Three Dog Night, Chuck Negron, Spencer Davis, guitar player from the Iron Butterfly, Michael Panera, John Fogerty from Creedence Clearwater for one performance. And then in 1996, I started the drum program over at Keyboard Galleria because I love to teach. That's one of my passions. And I was teaching, and I got a phone call, and it was a friend of mine, a peer of mine, who was working with the great legendary pianist Roger Williams, who I grew up in my father's house listening to his records. And I thought the phone call at first was a joke. Jimmy, you want to go to Calgary on Monday? It was Saturday. And I said, that's not funny, Ed. And he said, no, Jim, I'm not kidding. I'm playing with, and next thing I knew, I was in Calgary with Roger Williams.
Wow.
8 months later, Roger asked me if I would put a band together for him, which he hadn't done in 25 years. He was picking up musicians all over the country. So I put together a band of my buddies. Is a great example. Mm-hmm. Same 5 guys, 15 years. We traveled the country, we traveled the world, and in 2003, I believe it was, we went to Carnegie Hall with Roger, which was the greatest night of my life, musically, for Steinway's 150th anniversary. And I was on stage with Art Garfunkel and Jimmy Webb and Michel Legrand and Peter Nero and the finest musicians on God's planet, you know. And it was an honor. Roger's gig was an education, was an honor, and it gave me an opportunity to learn a lot about being a great accompanist as a drummer.
A lot of people may not know who Roger Williams was.
Roger Williams.
Probably the greatest pianist of our time.
Considered the most popular pianist in American history. 118 records. Played for 9 presidents, has a star in the Hollywood Walk of Fame, his music's in the Smithsonian Institute, and something that most people don't know, when our great President Kennedy was assassinated, they went into his hotel room and found a little portable record player with one of Roger's records on it, Yellowbird, and that's what he was listening to when he was shaving before the parade.
Oh my goodness.
So his music and that little record player and that record's in the Kennedy Library. So Roger had an incredible touch on history, and his title is the most popular pianist in American history. So I was a very blessed boy to be there.
2 of his biggest hits, Autumn Leaves,
Right.
for those of you my age, and Born Free,
Right.
2 of his greatest hits.
Right. And then he played on Somewhere in Time with the movie with Christopher Reeve, and that's actually him playing on the soundtrack, and that became a huge hit. So we got to play, he took me, it was a very unusual thing for a drummer, because I got to sit in the front with him, and when we played with symphonies, which we did 40 times, the Houston Symphony, the Dallas Symphony, Phoenix, the conductor would go away, and he would tell the orchestra that he had to watch the drummer. And so I had the joy of actually being in the front and helping to direct a 45-piece orchestra with this legendary pianist. So when Roger left the planet, it was a very sad day, but he watches over, and he's still encouraging me to do my business, go out and sing for people, go out and play for people, do both. I love to do events for people because I've been at hundreds and hundreds of them in so many different capacities.
Jimmy, I want to ask you, because this is Setareh's dream. She wants to be in Carnegie Hall. But she wants to be on the stage all by herself. She's going to throw me under a bus or something. She wants to, What does it feel like getting ready to perform in the great Carnegie Hall?
Wow, that was I used the word surreal, okay, because now we had Paul Schaefer, who was the guy from Letterman, who was the announcer, and the great Phil Ramone, who's passed away now, one of the greatest producers of all time, and some of the greatest musicians on the planet that showed up for 3 days. The first night was classical pianists who played Steinway. The Friday night was jazz people, and then Saturday night Roger opened the show for the popular pianists. Wow, I was very nervous, but I knew the music very well. And as a little funny story, if I have time to tell it real quick, I'll try my best to tell it quick. Roger didn't know he was going on first. And so because I was his little buddy and put the band together and was very close to him personally, he was like a father to me. I had to go tell him that he was on first. So I went down the elevator and knocked on his door, and he would answer the same way, yeah. And Roger's Jimmy. Come on in, Jim. Roger, you got to go on first. And he got very upset when I told him that. So I went up back in the elevator, and about 5 minutes later, the elevator opened, and here came out steaming Roger Williams. I mean, on fire, you know. But I got to tell you, he walked out to that $267,000 piano that they made for him, which is in Steinway's history. They had never done that. The Autumn Leaves piano. And he lit it on fire. And if you go to my YouTube channel, Jimmy Carnelli, you'll see a video of us at Carnegie Hall. And my first note didn't touch the drum because I was so nervous. And then something flashed in my head that said, this will follow you for the rest of your life. You better kick in. And
the adrenaline came in.
It did.
Yeah.
And I watch myself today and go, thank you, God, so much. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Because it could have been a disaster, but it was really a good performance for all of us. And that's what's printed in history.
We are so lucky to have someone in Santa Clarita that can put something together for us with so much knowledge and experience.
Thank you.
How can we contact you if we want you to perform for us?
It's very simple. I have a website, Carnelli Entertainment, www.carnellientertainment.com. You can reach me at my cell, which is always attached to me like most of us, which is 661-313-8846. You could call my office, which is, 661-252-9566. And you could send me an email at jimmy@carnellientertainment.com. And I check them every 4 minutes. So,
well, thank you so much for being here today.
Thank you so much for having me here.
You're like a Santa Clarita superstar, so what a privilege. And stay tuned, because when we come back, more on how to attract more prospects with Shady.
Are you getting this, honey?
Oh, prime time. We are rolling.
All right, Mama's gonna bring it home. Mama's gonna bring it home. Okay.
Come on, watch this guy.
Oh, backwards.
Oh, don't. Oh.
It went into Bob and Carol's yard. Oh, no? Okay, here it comes.
Oh, Mom!
Challenge your kids to be active and eat healthy.
All right, let's see what you can do. Let's go.
They might surprise you.
Let's go.
Search We Can for more ideas on how you and your kids can get healthy together.
Let's get started!
Check out Senses on Main Street each third Thursday of the month from 7 to 11 p.m. in Old Town Newhall.
Welcome back to our Valley, Santa Clarita. We have had some crazy great superstars here on our show, and it's such a privilege.
Jimmy Carnelli.
But we also have another superstar. Her name is Shady, and I'm excited to see how we can get more amigos to our businesses.
Welcome back, my friends, to Shady Business with Shady, of course. Today we're talking about how to bring more amigos to your business. Now let's get to the point. Times are getting very technological. It's becoming like a robotic world, you know? So you gotta follow along and change with the times. make sure that on your website you have a facts section. That means frequently asked questions. Because a lot of people, you know, they get a power trip, they want to do their shopping themselves. So you got to provide all the appropriate tools. Now you can do this by placing all the frequently asked questions in this one specific section of your website. This way, they do the shopping and you kind of don't got to do that much work. That's not so bad, eh? Another thing is the e-blasting. We like to email everybody and let them know what's going on at your company. You got a sale going on, you got an event coming up, you gotta let them know. But everybody's doing it, so you gotta make yours unique. You gotta make it stand out and personalize it. Some ways that you can do this is, well, you can put a picture of the most recent event of your company doing a charity event, or you can put personal and unique information about your company. People like that kind of stuff. So remember, find ways to individualize your brand. And we'll see you here next week with Shady Business. If you have more questions, make sure to email me at shadybusiness101@gmail.com.
Welcome back. Our Valley, Santa Clarita. What a great show we've had today. And by the way,
What is that?
I was e-blasting you.
That's not e-blasting.
We are so excited to have brought you a good show today. We're going to bring you another show next week when we talk about money. Thanks for joining us. We're Mi Casa
Es su casa. This program was brought to you by Our Valley, Santa Clarita. We create success for our clients. We're a marketing solutions company that will help you grow your business. Call us at 661-666-1639.